Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. The PTS Week 4 changes have been released over on the PTS forums, and if you're like me, you've been left kind of scratching your head, wondering what's going on, and that's because the Stamina Nightblade Ultimate Incap Strike has been changed yet again. And I don't know if I can handle it, you guys. Have you ever been like on a plane with a lot of turbulence and you get that feeling in your stomach like you're free falling for a second, and then you come back up, and then you fall down a little bit more and you come back up, and that literally feels like the last month we've had of patch changes for the Nightblade class. What the heck is going on? I'm very confused right now. I checked my calendar. It's not April 1st. So apparently this is a legit change. Let's jump into it. So if you recall the week 1 changes almost a month ago, we saw Incap Strike get nerfed pretty hard. Instead of the major defile that it usually had as part of that ultimate, it got another debuff called Minor Mangle, which is a really rare debuff in ESO. Okay, interesting. I can kind of see what they're going for. Overall, some people were okay with the changes and some were not. It was kind of a mixed bag, but I think we were starting to get used to it. And then as the skill was tested and people noticed, oh hey, that Minor Mangle debuff thing, it doesn't work on bosses, and it doesn't work in PvP either. It doesn't even register, and it just doesn't work at all. So that was our feedback initially, and many of us thought, well, okay, maybe they can fix the debuff or whatever, and they'll make it work. Instead, we got this in week 4. Incapacitating Strike. This morph no longer applies Minor Mangle or stuns, so the stun is gone completely as well. Instead, it now silences the target for 3 seconds when cast with 120 or more ultimate. And additionally, while slotted, it now grants Reeve, which is a totally new ability, which restores 100 magicka and stamina when dealing damage with a light or heavy attack on the target with... on a target with a negative effect on them. Any target with any negative effect, not just Incap Strike. Wow! There is just so much to talk about with this change. First, let's talk about the silence. Silence is really powerful in PvP. There's only one other ultimate that gives silence, and I think it's 200 or 250 ultimate. That's the Sorcerer Negate ultimate, and you can just walk out of a negate. It's not really a problem. Now, if you don't know what silence does, it basically makes you unable to cast any magicka ability or any ultimate while you're under the silence. This sounds to me like a really powerful ultimate against any magicka build in PvP, period. This is like a win button, basically, is what it sounds like to me. First off, let's rewind a little bit and look at the goal of the Incap Strike changes all the way back to week 1. I can bring it up again. They said that they wanted to reduce the overbearing nature of Incap Strike. Basically, a 30% heal reduction was too powerful, so they got rid of it. Okay. Well, it seems to me that making your opponent unable to heal at all for 3 seconds, which is like, what, 100% healing reduction? That seems even more powerful than that, so I don't know what is going on here. This seems obvious to me, right? 30% heal reduction or 100... You can't cast anything. You can't cast a heal, you can't cast a shield. Wow. This is crazy, you guys. This is crazy. This is crazy stuff here. So silence is basically a win against a magicka class in PvP, I think. I mean, just consider like dueling, think about the Zergs that are there in Cyrodiil. If this change goes through, nobody's going to play a Necro in PvP. Everybody will want to play a Stam Nightblade again. 3 seconds of silence is more than enough time for a Nightblade to kill any target, unless they just are, max health through the roof. Especially when you consider how hard Incap already hits for, and the fact that it empowers all of your damage by 20% during that 3 seconds. I mean, yeah, players can roll dodge now since there's not a stun anymore. I get that. But this still hurts Magicka classes really hard because Magicka classes don't have a lot of stamina for dodge roll. And you know what ignores dodge roll too? Nightblade Fear, of course. Oh man, this is really strong. This is looking super strong. So the other aspect of this is the new ability here that they're calling Reeve, which restores 100 Magicka and stamina on any target with a negative effect on them. So it's basically a new passive for having Incap Strike slotted. And they wanted to compare it to Soul Harvest, since Soul Harvest has the ultimate. So this would be another option. Well, so the deal with this is that this is just another recovery passive, and they took recovery off of Grim Focus already, the other Stamina Nightblade skill, with the explanation that Stamina Nightblade recovery is fine. They don't need more recovery, so let's take off the recovery from Grim Focus. It used to have minor endurance. Let's get rid of that. Stamblades don't need recovery anymore. But yet they put it back on to Incap Strike, which does not make sense at all. I mean, it's nice and everything, but I don't know that that's necessary. It just feels like there's no good ideas. There's no good ideas left, you guys. So there's lots of feedback threads coming up on the PTS forums. Brian Wheeler, who is the combat lead person, did respond and said, we've been reading your feedback about the changes and are investigating counterplay options for the silence that's been added to this ability, which makes it seem like they are really going to stay with the silence. But man, this is just not good. This is just not good for like PR in general, because wouldn't you have thought about counterplay before making a change like this? Like, this is a major change to this skill that once players actually saw it, it seemed really obvious. Anyways, it sounds to me that like they want to stick with the silence because it's getting late, you guys. There's maybe one more week of PTS left. And so they may try to just stick it on there, keep it there, and try to balance it more. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. The problem with silence, other than what we've talked about, which is, it's such a powerful debuff. Other than that, is the fact that there is no cooldown. It's not like a stun. There's no CC immunity. There's no cooldown, so you could have, So you could have Nightblades chain casting this on people with no issue. So they could give it a cooldown, they could make it a CC, but then if it uses up your CC cooldown for a Nightblade, that means you can't stun them with fear, which is not going to be great either. So overall, change just seems like a mess to me. I don't know how to fix it. If you guys have any ideas, definitely put those down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this change in general, if you play a Stamina Nightblade or not. How do you think this would change the state of the game if it goes in like it is right now? Or how do you think it could be fixed moving forward? Or can it be fixed at this point? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching the channel as always. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure you drop a like down below. And subscribe to the channel for lots more Elsweyr content and builds coming in the future. Maybe just Nightblade builds. Maybe that's all I'll do from now on is Nightblade builds. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Thanks.